Hello, Leo. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully your day is getting off to a good start, or your evening. It's great to see you. We're going to be taking a look at the next 6 to 8 weeks for you, all of the possibilities, and had a really powerful totem coming in today, which is the spider. And particularly today, we're going to be focusing on how strong their webs are and just kind of how amazing they are. A little bit of love here from Apollo before we get started. I hope all of you are enjoying the Mercury retrograde to the best of your ability. I did do a special video on that, so check it out if you'd like some advice. I always believe that retrogrades are a chance to really improve, and so we're going to approach that with that approach today. All right, 1 second here while I put Apollo down. All right, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. As I was saying, we're going to be looking at your monthly reading. This will help you navigate this 6 to 8 week period of time that we're currently in. And for many of you that are watching it live, this will also include, as I said, retrograde energy. Retrograde gives us a chance to let go of stuff and a lot of times fix things that are kind of like stuck on repeat. So I'll keep that in mind today as I'm looking at everything, focusing on where there'd be an opportunity possibly to make or break cycles in your life. Okay, here's the overall layout for today. We always begin with channeled messages, and then we work into the Celtic Cross and then go into that expanded forecast. There's a lot of other pieces, but we'll get into that when the time is right. Let's give Apollo another scratch on the belly, and then we're going to talk about today's reading. Hey, buddy, you settled off now? I know. All right, there's some toys for you. Okay, so as I was saying, if you enjoy what you see here, please hit that subscribe button. I am putting out more videos than I used to. I do daily readings in addition to the weekly and monthlies, and occasionally I'll do special topic readings, bonus readings like I was talking about with the retrograde and the full moon. So more to come with that. So stay in the know, hit the like and subscribe and the bell icon as well if you haven't already. And if you'd like to join me on social media, I always remind you at least a day before of what's coming through so you never miss a video. Remember, if you do follow me, it's always my full name. If anyone actually reaches out to you, that's not me. I don't use direct messages and I don't offer private readings. If you want to show some love and support, on replay, you can use the thanks button. If you're watching right now live, you can also use that little $sign, and you can either become a member or give a super sticker or super chat, which allows me to do more videos. So thank you so much for your continued support there. We're going to get into channeled messages. These come to me in dreams in a large portion. I actually last night saw what I was going to talk about for you as I was walking along. I saw a beautiful spider web shining and glimmering in the street lamp, and I thought, oh, this will be a wonderful energy to talk about today. So let's get the presentation set up, and we'll begin here. All right. So one thing that I always like to do when I see something in a dream or if I see something persistently in nature, I like to go into the positive energy that it can basically show us. And I find that it's just as useful as tarot. It's part of like basically nature's totems that it's giving us messages and guidance, each and every day. So let's talk about spider webs. We'll geek out a little bit, and then we'll get into the Celtic Cross. So some fun facts that I hadn't found before about spider webs. I always try to find something new and engaging if I can for you. They shine not just because, they're made of silk, not just because they look pretty. They shine because, as you know, insects view the world through ultraviolet eyesight, not just what we see. So a lot of times things like a daisy or a sunflower, they actually have like additional patterns to show the pollinators where to go. So spider webs operate in a similar way where they're attracting or maybe even distracting the insects, and then they get stuck in the web. So there's actually a bigger design to things. And it's sort of speaking to, for those of you that are creative out there, that you can kind of make things like a layer cake. So I wrote a book a couple years ago, and I tried to make it a layer cake. For people that just want fantasy, they'll read it and they'll think, wow, that's outlandish, that's cool, that's fantastic. For people that have a third eye open, they'll be like, oh yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about. I've been through that. And tried to make it fun for both. So you could layer your messages, you could layer what you're doing in your life so that it can reach everybody, but then the ones that are really tuned in, it's going to be a profound sort of connection. Pop music actually can do this, and any music in general. Listen to lyrics from a song that you liked as a kid, as an adult, with like an adult brain, and you will suddenly realize that the songs are not about what you thought they were about. For instance, I've used some examples before, but like Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. She's not just talking about going out on the dance floor. She's lonely and she wants to be with somebody. So you don't necessarily get that when you're a kid. I remember an interview with listening to Prince talk about, what was it? Let's Go Crazy. It was actually a song about faith, and the elevator was a metaphor for the devil. So it can go like super deep, and you're just listening to a song and you think it's just a lot of fun, right? But they're talking about complex issues that they have to code in different language because it may not be put on the airwaves otherwise. So yeah, listen to stuff that you thought was innocent. It's not innocent. Listen to things that you thought maybe it was fun and effervescent rather, but it may actually have some deeper levels of meaning. And that's actually how you reel people into stuff, and you can actually teach them things or show them things. It's almost like a very positive version of a Trojan horse, where you have to find a commonality with like the mass public, and then you can kind of then show them, hey, but there's some other things that we can talk about here. When you're looking at negotiations, when you're looking at difficult conversations, you want to start first with the positive, really try to wrap the warm energy around them, and then you can go and talk about the important issue that you have, okay? This next piece was super fascinating, and I think it must be a somewhat new development in science, but they've found out that the spider webs are charged. There's an electrical charge to it. So certain insects like bees, because they're moving so much, they actually have a slightly positive charge to them. So the spider webs some of the spiders will charge the web negatively. And what happens is if the bee gets too close, the web actually jumps out. It's like a static charge if you don't use a fabric softener, I'm sure you've had this happen where like a sock is sticking to you or something like that. So the web has that same capacity to be sticky, and they've programmed it like with an electrostatic charge. Who knew? That to me is super fascinating. And one of the things here is, it kind of goes counter to like attracts like, but it is telling you, be careful about stepping into a trap, or opposite energy sometimes is trying to pull you in, lure you in. And so if someone is in a negative energy and you're in a positive energy, you don't necessarily need to get into their business, or you don't need to fix it, because just like what happened with this spider web, you can kind of get stuck there trying to kind of, push them energetically up. So I think there is a lesson there, and it still goes with like attracts like, but it would say focus on sticking with people in your frequency, and sometimes realize that until someone's ready to get out of a lower frequency, it's just going to be a sticky situation, okay? I said tell your message as well, because as we were looking at here, these are engineers, basically spiders. They build their webs and program their webs with something in mind. So when it comes to messages and when it comes to communication, tailoring it to the audience is going to be really important. It'll help you get more of what you're seeking. Spiders actually build a pretty wide net here, or web in this case. For us, this is saying don't limit yourself to something so specific. If you're trying to find a certain type of partner, if you're too specific, it will take forever. We don't want you to settle either, but you have to be open to the possibilities. Same thing when you're looking for a job, looking for an apartment, looking for anything in your life. The universe may have some options that might just be a little bit out of what you thought, but they could also be a very good match. So this is about casting a wider net to see what kind of opportunities get caught in that net as well. Think expansively, which is why I chose the World card to demonstrate this. Try new things, and then your mantra, or what you could be focusing on here, could be explore, expand, and experiment. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, because fun is the key too. If you're not having fun, if you're not kind of like enjoying the experience, what are you doing? So cast a wider net and try new things. I'm sure those of you that either have children, or maybe like niece and nephew, or grandchildren, or whatever, younger kids in your life, you've seen this, where they just want to eat like spaghetti, hamburgers, and chicken nuggets. And it's sort of like, how can we get them to expand their palate? And you have to sort of like negotiate with them to try new things. And if you only stick to that very limited palette, you're going to miss so much in the world. Same thing happens when it comes to wearing different colors, or reading different genres of books, seeing different types of movies, experiencing different cultures. We have to sample from the whole palette, not just not just the hamburgers, chicken nuggets, and spaghetti. All right, next one. Each day is a clean slate. So spiders rebuild their, not all, but many rebuild their webs every day. They do recycle, by the way. I found this out as I was researching. So they basically re-ingest the protein that is in the web as they're doing it, and then they reuse that and spin a new web. But what I liked about this is, yes, they recycle, but also this clean slate every day. The Fool, basically. Releasing old attachments, stepping into the new day without the fear, without the frustration, without any of the sort of weighing down that you might have carried with you from yesterday. So actually today, I think when I did my single card pull today was the Hanged Man, and part of what the Hanged Man also allows us to do is to pause. So the Fool has already taken the pause and is like, I'm ready to go. You might be more in the Hanged Man phase where you're like, I just need to sit with this for a second. So reset your mental slate so that you can see new opportunities and create some space in your life. Remember, you are the creator. You co-create, I should say. So you create your destiny. You're working with God and the universe to create something beautiful, and that's an important thing here. So let's look at, someone was mentioning music, interesting segue. So I'll skip to the last, well, it's the middle bullet here, but spiders actually tune their webs because they listen to vibration. So you might sometimes see them like plucking the sort of strands. They're trying to test and get the vibrations just right so they know what's going on. Another interesting thing here is that the silk in the spider web, if you compare it sort of like to other materials, it would be stronger than steel. So they have this ability to create great frequencies, like strong vibrations and lasting materials here, which to me harkens to the Ten of Cups, the ability to create harmonious, lasting connections, strong bonds, basically, lasting bonds. So whether or not you're partnered, whether or not you are a social butterfly, one of the areas of growth and opportunity this month is in social spheres. And so as we look, specifically as I look at love and relationships, we'll see if there's some opportunities for growth in that area. Okay? So those are the messages, my friends. I've already chosen the deck of cards to use today. I'm kind of in an interesting office situation where I'm looking for a new space because this is a beautiful place, this house, but there's problems in every room I've discovered. There's some rain damage, some termites, some other things, and I'm like, all right, got to find an office. So in the interim, I probably won't do as much voting. I'll select all the decks, and then I put them all away after we do the reading. So thank you for understanding the slight shift. All right, we're going to focus now on the table here and look at the cards here for the next 6 to 8 weeks. This is going to help you navigate all the opportunities in front of you. You can watch this for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus. You can also watch for any aspect of your chart. If you stick around until the latter portion, I'll actually go through the messages for Sun, Rising, and Moon. What a nice card to start things off with. You're definitely in the flow of change. We're going to see the Tower come up a lot as I do readings over the next month because of retrograde. So do not read too much into that yet. Yeah, I love this deck because it's just nature-based, and it's fun to see things other than people when we're looking at court cards. I actually feel like animals give us a little bit more information sometimes than humans when it comes to the court cards as well. I put this deck aside for a while because certain cards like this, it's difficult to read that it's swords. The Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands are very similar, and you have to look really, really closely. But aside from that, it's a beautiful deck. And I was like, all right, let's bring it back into rotation. All right, let's take a look at all the cards and all the messages for today. All right, so we have a raccoon in the catalyst position in the reverse state. Raccoons are interesting because they're sneaky. If I had to put a tarot card with this, I would say it's probably the Seven of Swords, because they kind of sneak around in the dark. They go where they shouldn't. They grab things. They try to get away with stuff. They're cute. They're fuzzy, but you know that they're trouble when you see them sometimes, right, in the trash cans. If we look at the positive pieces of a raccoon, it is thrifty, resourceful. It's able to thrive and survive in locations and situations where other people may not be able to. And so I like all of those sort of characteristics about it. That's a good thing. It may also find value in things that others do not. So all of these things are coming through for you. You could be looking at something and really seeing all the potential, and someone else looks at it and they think, well, that's trash. You're like, no, you don't know where this is going. It's actually going to be beautiful when I'm done. So stick to your vision. You clearly have a connection to that more so than someone else does, and it's more important how you feel when you're in that act of creation. With respect to the Seven of Swords and the fact that this card is reversed, this would also indicate that for many of you, this will be a period of revelation. And big word, which means things are coming to your vision. You're going to start to see things for what they truly are. And so somebody may come through in an unexpected way and really be like the hero of the day, but they could also be someone else in your life that you thought you could trust, but then they're going to come through and show their true colors. So one way or another, you're going to get more insight into somebody. They may have been holding back a hidden gift or a secret, and it's going to come out. Whenever we get a Seven of Swords like this in a catalyst, or a raccoon card in the catalyst, it's basically saying, you know, some way, shape, or form, things will see the light of day. If you have something that you need to share, something that you need to do, better to do it on your own volition, on your own basically, than to let someone else kind of pull that out of you. Then you get to own the narrative, and it's a much stronger way to proceed. All right, I loved this card at the center for you. So Leo, you are shining brightly with the star here, and that's why you have to clean up some of the stuff here. Again, cleaning up some of the garbage, some of the old stuff, because once the accountability, once the spotlight is shining, you want to feel really good about that. You want to feel like, I'm ready to step into the spotlight. The star is upright, so there's really no sort of caveats that we have to put on this other than stay authentic, be bold, don't be afraid of what others may think. Anytime you are moving, shaking, or trend setting, there will be people that are going to weigh in and talk about you. That means that you're doing your job. That means that you're being seen. It's at least you're kind of like on the top of their brains or the tip of their tongues. So yeah, this is a time to shine, and there may be a little bit more scrutiny, but most of the cards today are pretty good. So let's not worry about it too much. Okay. For those of you that are shy, this is really kind of helping you come out of your shell a little bit. All right, so 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so as I'm looking at the next card here, we have the Eight of Swords. This is kind of interesting because what it's telling me for you is that you're in that shell. And the chrysalis, basically, which is going to get you to the next phase, which will be the butterfly, basically, right? So I think for many of you, this is just saying, like, just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just because you feel cut off or trapped doesn't mean that you are stuck at all. The Eight of Swords sometimes is just encouraging us to be comfortable with ambiguity and to stick to the vision that we have, and also to remember that you don't have to. It's kind of interesting. This is a normally the swords would be going down. This time they're kind of pointing up, even though the card is upright. So what it's saying is, it's almost like a landmine. You know that there are certain areas that you're not going to mess with, and you're never truly trapped in the Eight of Swords. It's more of a mental entrapment that we make. So limiting thoughts, limiting ideas, very much in partnership with like the Devil card. So choose to not go into places that you don't need to go in. Like, you know that that's not worth it. You know, this isn't worth it. You're not going to go down that rabbit hole worrying about this or that. You're going to focus instead on knowing yourself, trusting the vision, and spreading your wings. Because in this particular illustration, if that chrysalis just stays in place and the butterfly just carefully gets out of there, there is a way out. And that's actually the very hopeful message in this. If you feel trapped, if you feel like, how am I going to get out of this? This card says there is a way. It is a little bit tricky. As long as you are thoughtful, as long as you remember to not take the bait, you're going to be okay. So you have to really work on elevating your thoughts. And then I see an escape or transformation, something better than what it started. And that's always the goal in life, right? To leave things better than it was when they started. Okay. That's actually good. This is good news. So some of you feel trapped, but you're not. That's what this card is saying. You just can't see what's next. And there's some things that are being chosen, like free will, not just yours, but others. We can control a certain amount of things, but we can't control other people's decisions. We can influence, but we can't get in their heads and control them. So those are some of the elements that are at play right now. And I think that if you stay bright and stay strong, that's going to put the needle in your sort of court and push it in your direction. Okay? Let's look at your deep past and see what's coming through, because these two are working together. Here's your retrograde energy, the Tower. The retrograde is being fueled by this card, however, which is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is understanding when to say when you've had enough. And if people keep pushing back on when you say I've had enough, this card is reminding you that, it's your prerogative to have a limit. It's their sort of free will to speak up against that, but you don't have to be pressured. No means no. The other thing here is that you don't have to be everything to everyone. You start to learn that lesson in the Six of Pentacles. Sometimes you have to go through the Seven of Pentacles test just to realize it, but not always. You can jump from here and kind of like leapfrog into the Eight if you've learned the lesson. So say no, do less, do it better, focus on what you're doing, save a little bit for contingency, and don't overextend yourself. So finding your balance basically is what this card is saying. You always have exactly what you need, maybe not what you want, but what you need when this card is pulled. So that's a good message. There is some changes that need to happen with how you're spending time, energy, and money. That's the biggest change that we see shifting here. Some of you are also shifting from a place of being hidden to a place of being seen. And this rocks your world a little bit because you're like, I'm not used to this visibility. So maybe you're stepping into a new business partnership. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe there's just a lot more people that want to talk to you in this period of time. But whatever it is, it's positive because the center card is the Star. It's just a little bit, maybe for some of you, uncomfortable, irritating, or it's requiring a new organization in your life. You might have just moved. This card can also come on the heels of a breakup or a death in the family. So change is happening, but your trajectory is very positive. You just have to manage the change, manage your resources, and then know that in this time of discomfort or ambiguity, positive things are still coming through. Let's look at your crowning card next, and we'll talk about it. So it's the Six of Swords. I have to look real close in this deck, but if you look very closely, you can see indeed they are swords. That's my only comment to the deck creator. She made a beautiful deck, and I own most of the ones that she's made. I need to buy her newest one, but she should have just put swords underneath there. Pet peeve, or make them very clear. All right, Six of Swords. I like this card, and I think it was reversed when I pulled it up because it's all about moving forward, and we see the rainbow here after the rainstorm. So if you've been through the ringer, if you've been through a difficult time, this is basically saying it's okay for you to feel the way that you feel, and things are moving in the right direction. I believe that there is no wasted time or mistake that we have to look back on and beat ourselves up on. We are either ready or not ready to embrace certain things as they come into our lives. And each and every experience enriches, teaches, and helps guide us in the future. So if you can look at even the missteps, mistakes, or delays as being cosmic blessings, divine blessings, you're going to be okay. So which direction are you moving in? And I really don't care which direction this card is in either, because to me, it's all about movement. So this is for you, I think, in your head. It's showing the ability for you to turn right or turn left. And I do think you're at a fork in the road. So the minute you decide that you're done, that you're finished with something, Six of Swords is a card that allows for more movement, more change and transition to happen for you. Of all the death cards, and the death cards would be death, Four of Swords, Six of Swords, sometimes the world, sometimes a tower. This one is the gentlest, one of the more, not as gentle as the Four of Swords, but what I like about it is you're cool with it, you're ready for it, and you're feeling very free. So in that respect, it is gentle because you're focusing on something else. And I think that's the last note that I want to say with this. The minute you start to stop fixating on your problem and start focusing on what you want to do about it or what other things are opening up, the more you notice that problem goes away or that person kind of fades away. We have a perspective card here as well, Five of Cups reversed. And you can't see it as much in this one, but there is a choice to look at the positive side or the negative side. I'll pull the regular card while we're talking here, and we'll discuss this. To me, this is always a matter of looking at your life and thinking. We get a little bit of this in 4, 5, and I would say even 7 of Cups. They're all about thinking about others, thinking about how you compare, wondering like, why did this happen? So if you are in that sort of mental state of why me, why did this happen, or why haven't I gotten X, Y, or Z yet? This card is saying there's so much to be grateful for today. There's so much that you can affect. And there's actually someone in the periphery, in the background, that has your best interest at heart. Here's the traditional card. So why not focus on these things today? It's good to process emotions. Until we process the emotions, they're not going to be able to basically neutralize. And so yes, you can cry over this the spilled milk or the spilled wine. But always in this card, there's usually two cups in the background. And the Two of Cups is a partnership. It's love. It's another ace or two behind you that are saying there's something good. There's something around the corner. The other night I was shown a scene of somebody crying at a party, and then someone was flirting. Someone was trying to get their interest, and they didn't even care that you, the person that I saw crying, was sort of upset. They just were waiting for you to see them. And so I see a period of mourning followed by a period of celebration. You get both of those in the Five of Cups. You have to mourn, you have to let go. When you do, something good happens. And I saw it kind of like a kid where they're sniffling, and all of a sudden it was kind of like, I gotta get over this because I want to go talk to that person. And there was a little bit of joy that started to come back. So spend time with friends, be open to new love, be open to new relationships, and believe that the universe isn't here to make life difficult. There's a beautiful cherry on top that's being ready to be delivered. You might have gone through a lot, but there's something beautiful on the horizon. So don't despair, don't give up. That's the common thread here as we look at some of these. So you're being highlighted with this star energy, with that star power front and center. Yes, there's a change. Yes, some things are not clear right now. Yes, you're being asked to move possibly into the dark in a sort of energy of faith. And yes, there's some things that you're thinking like, but why? Sometimes it is just because. It's like the exhausted parent that gives up when the child asks 15 times, but why, but why? Sometimes it is just because, and there's something better. Because you weren't ready, because the synchronicity hadn't opened up yet, because this is where it is in this moment in time. So don't overthink it. Be more present, be more open, and look for the positive as well as the negative. I think that's the important thing with the Five of Cups. All right. Let's move on to how you're showing up. We have Father of Swords reversed, King of Swords reversed. So with this, it feels like your energy is basically very, very, not just authentic, but outspoken. It could be to a fault sometimes. And so one of the things that you want to be careful of this month is I'm all for being concise, being honest, and being frank. But I think it's also important to tap into that empathy and make sure that you are trying to understand where the other person may be mentally or emotionally. It'll help your message be delivered and also ingested a little bit better. This is a really good time for those of you that have creative energy or ideas, or again, this even extends to business people, engineers. It's a good time to record this stuff as it happens. If you've ever been in a creative flow or really cool brainstorming session, the most important thing is to capture. Because you don't always remember everything later. And I think that you have kind of like this lightning rod of energy that wants to come through this month. So it's coming through you, and it needs to be recorded either by voice or by writing, and do yourself a favor with that. And I think that's going to open up some doors in the long run, because you might have something later that you think, wow, this is great. So don't lose the download. As we look at your environment, we have High Priestess. She's reversed. With the High Priestess in reverse, it's saying trust yourself. I know that in my lifetime, the only things that I ever regret are when I know, I see, I feel something, and I don't act on that intuition, clairvoyance, etc. So if you are very confident that something needs to be done, is about to happen, or you know the path that you need to take, don't delay. This card is saying move towards that for sure. This is also connecting to how powerful your thoughts are in this period. This is why I want you to really focus on taking this Five of Cups and embracing the Two of Cups in the background and saying, I am ready now to create, to co-create, to celebrate, to be in the presence of others who want to kind of be around this star energy. Because if you can stay in the positive, then you're going to start to manifest hopes and dreams rather than fears. Okay? And that's always the goal. High Priestess in reverse can also be this, especially the location on this one is in the environment. So this can indicate someone in your life that is super persuasive, could even be a little bit manipulative, and you want to hold your ground here. We have the Emperor card here. And so there's a little bit of a tug of war here. This person likes to remind everyone that they're the boss, or pretends to be the one that's in charge. But there is a lot of power that you have. And I think one of the big dynamics this month for you in work and relationships in general is going to be about reestablishing, reclaiming your power, about making sure that any sort of manipulation is nipped in the bud before it happens, and that you're not afraid. There's a lot of empowerment cards here with the Star and the Emperor, but you're not afraid to shine. You're not afraid to show your true ideas, your true colors. Great things will happen if you do that, okay? There could be some healing going on with parental figures in your life. High Priestess can be mother, Emperor can obviously be father. And so we have very strong divine energies that are inverted here. So what could be happening is you're basically clearing some karma, clearing some energy, and basically showing that you don't have to live the same life or experiences that someone in your ancestral history did, or in your own sort of immediate family, okay? Empowerment is the word of the day here. This is your chance to really step into that and shine. And let's see what we've got here at the end. We have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is reversed. So the main thing that you want to avoid this month is going to extremes. I do like that it's in the outcome, because this is indicating a future celebration, good moves, good fortune, happy times basically, but it can also be a lack of moderation. So sometimes you may be tempted this month to be self-indulgent. The negative energy can also bring you down. So this is why having a good partnership, having some good friends, focusing on the positive energy this month is going to be important, okay? So you're allowed to do whatever you need to do with the feelings, but try to keep them in check and try to channel them into something productive and proactive. Let's expand the forecast, and we'll get a much deeper understanding of each of these cards as we go through health, wealth, love, and destiny. Each one of these is going to be multifaceted and multi-part, so I'll do my best to break them down. When we look at relationships, we'll actually look at it in 3 different parts. Let's begin first with health. I always like to disclaim that I'm not a doctor. I'm a medium, a tarot reader, an intuitive. So what we're going to be looking at are opportunities of free will for you, energy. I'm helping you with energy, but if anything's going on in your mental or physical state, you'll want to work with the appropriate doctor for that. Okay. Disclaimers notwithstanding, let's look at the messages here. Halls of Learning, Spirit Guides, Confirmation, Great Lessons. What a beautiful card. This is one of the Kyle Gray decks, I believe. But so many of you could be not just expanding, but like really expanding when it comes to your intuitive abilities. So this could indicate connection to the Akashic Records, past life flashbacks, being able to hear and see your guides or those who have passed. I had some really interesting questions when I did the Q&A for the 3 1/4 milestone that I just had recently. One of them was like, how do you talk to your guides? One thing to remember is that your guides are constantly with you, speaking subtly in thoughts, sometimes pointing your eyes or your ears towards something in the environment. So messages are incoming all the time. They don't have to just come through your ears, through your third eye. So be open. I would say your guides are constantly talking to you and constantly present. One of my new guides now is my mom, because she's in spirit. And so now she's starting to show up frequently in dreams. And sometimes she'll cross over a little bit, and I get to hear or see her briefly when I awaken. But you can have relatives as spirit guides. You can have pets. You can have animals. I have a wolf. You can have a lot of different types of guides. They're not just one. So you don't have to just have you can have a prominent one, but we often have a team in spirit, right? So some of you are starting to wake up and connect more with that spiritual team that's in your back, that has your back, I should say. And that's what I was talking about with the hidden Two of Cups here. When you think that the world is kind of beating you down, or that things aren't working out, this is when you turn to your higher self. That's guide number one. You can turn to the divine, and then you may also have some connections to other spirit entities that you can connect with as well. Okay? So that's cool. It's telling me you can open up and you can tap into that in subtle and maybe more obvious ways. Some of you are deciding to go back to school. And this is very healthy for you because it gives you an additional way to connect to the universe around you. It feels like you're very much like a sponge right now, and you want to soak up the research, soak up the lessons. This could also be getting a second opinion. If you have an important decision to make with your health, definitely you educate yourself. That's step one. Talk to more than one professional to make sure that you're getting the best possible advice. Let's look specifically at the cards and see if there's anything else. So, necessary change. When I'm looking at your job, I'm going to jump to it here. We have death here in wealth. So some of you need to shift out of your current job, and that can be what we see here, or change the way you're spending your money. Something about what's going on in the environment has to change a little bit. So this is a cleanup card, and this is a card of trash. We like the raccoon, but he definitely does rummage around in the trash. So what I'm seeing here is an opportunity to clean things up a little bit. And if there's anything that you don't like or don't want to be there as you step into the next quarter of the year, now is the time. So clear and clean your mind, clear and clean your house, your finances, and your relationships. This is a time to go in and prune. And that's basically what this card taught us in the deep past, Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles and Tower, prune out what's unnecessary. Eight of Swords, you're not going to see everything that is coming through, so dig a little deeper. This is why a second opinion could be beneficial. With this, there's always a suggestion to take a look at your eyesight. If you haven't had a visual sort of like exam in a long time, go to the optometrist or ophthalmologist and get everything checked out. Let's see if anything else is coming through. Over or under doing it when it comes to drinking and eating. So some of you could be dehydrated. Some of you could be drinking too much alcohol or caffeine. You could be eating too many snacks, whatever it is. There's some extremes going on, and you're going to be a lot more aware of them than I am. But basically this card is just saying, balance that out. Go more into the Six of Pentacles energy. Pretty good overall, actually. But I do see for some of you a period of mourning coming through with the Six of Swords and the Death card. So mourning a job that you've quit, mourning a place that you've moved from, mourning something that you wanted to happen, but maybe that didn't. And so being able to deal with that is going to be important. Now let's get into wealth, which is all about change. So we have death here, and it says, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So we talked a little bit about this in the channeled messages when I was talking about the spider web. Each and every day, if it wants to, it'll go through and clear out the debris, and then it eats the web, and then it spins a new one. So each and every day we get a chance to basically clear the path and set out a new cosmic web for what we want to accomplish that day. Every day's web is going to look different. And if we get stuck in an old web, clear it out and change it up. Spiders do it. We've got to do it as well. And then also think about tailoring it to the audience, like charging it positively if you need to attract other positive people, avoiding any negative sort of triggers that might be in your path, walking away from that. It's going to be really important. All right. It's time for a change. You may have actually reached a really cool moment where you accomplished all that you set out to do professionally. This could come naturally when you decide to retire. This could be maybe 3, 5, 10 years into a career path where you think, I've done it. This is what I set out to do. That happened with me. It took 15 years, but I was really kind of there, honestly, around 8 years. I stayed double the amount of time that I needed to because social media, YouTube, things like that really weren't as prominent then. Or I don't even think monetization existed at the beginning. So it would have been difficult. So sometimes you have to sort of like just wait for the opening. But I feel like many of you, the opening is now because we're reading this now. So it's just the ability to take that leap of faith. We're talking a lot about nets. So one of the things that I did was to create a contingency plan, save up enough so that I could support myself if things didn't work out. So you can do something like that if you need to. You could be experiencing a glass ceiling, so you need to move elsewhere to achieve the next rung in the ladder. However you dice it, it's time for some movement and some change. Financially, it looks okay. I like that the Six of Pentacles is here. This is, like I said, the minimum that I would want to see for any new venture, for just general health. But there are some unexpected twists and turns that could come through over the course of the next quarter of the year. So I would love for you to be a little bit more proactive, conservative, or enthusiastic about the savings and the money and the finances. Because financial freedom just equals freedom in general. So that's one thing that's definitely coming through. Go where that freedom is. Let's see what else. It does feel like you may not be so keen on the travel, but travel is going to be an important part of work and finance and jobs over the next several months here. So that's something to kind of think, do I want to travel? Do I want to stay put? Some of you are throttled creatively. You are frustrated and you want to do more. Or you want to have more influence or impact on the sort of job that you're doing. So this could be, again, more management, more voice. So that's something that I'm picking up on as well. But then there's a fear, can I do this? You can do it. Whatever you want to set your mind out to do this month, the center card already gave you the answer, which is yes. And the outcome is pretty positive as well. This is a celebration. This is, why am I here? Why is it taking so long? Why did it, why basically is this card. But these two cards are saying it's okay, it's going to work out. This card is saying you've got to move. This card is saying you've got to move. This is saying you've got to change. So you've got 3 cards of change and movement. That's the key to success this month, is being comfortable with and flexible with change and ambiguity. If you can do that, you can thrive. You are going to have a chance to be heard. Be mindful of what words you say, because they have a way of sort of getting around and sticking around. But overall, I like this, and I think that if you want to open doors, this is the month to do that. Okay? Change indeed. Look at how you can shake things up, move on, move out, move up. Some sort of a shift or change to keep yourself engaged and to really feel like this is what you signed up for, right? If you're feeling stagnation with your wealth sector, this is when this card comes through and it's saying, widen the net, look for places where maybe you have to commute or move, reach out a little bit. There are options out there, but they may be out of the immediate periphery that you're searching in, which is something I know we talked about earlier. Let's move on to relationships, the cosmos, creativity, vastness. So while I love the vastness of the cosmos, it's also saying specificity would be good, because this is a very, very, very wide net when it comes to options. And I think that when the card is reversed, we're saying, yes, the world is here in front of you. It's your oyster. You can do whatever you want to. But it would be very good if you were specific in what it is that you want to accomplish. So specificity in this big wide world is going to help you out. And the World card can also indicate someone from a different background or culture, as can the Six of Swords. So this new friend, partner, or relation that's coming in the future has either an otherworldly quality about them, like you've known them from another place, another time, or they're just from a different part of this little spinning blue world. So that's going to be fun for you, because the two of you can rediscover and discover things or look at things differently. They're going to bring perspective, and they're going to help you change up your glasses and your own view of the world. Okay? So I like that. Let's go ahead and look at this in 3 different areas. Those in a relationship, looking for a relationship, or single and happy. Focusing first on those in a relationship. This is where I see the most shifting happening. It feels like some of you have just gone through maybe one of the biggest life changes thus far in your experience on this planet. So could be something pivotal, marriage, could be a loss of a parent, could be a big breakthrough in your life, a windfall, a financial windfall, something big. And it could be something positive because the star is right by it. But with positivity comes massive changes as well, and it changes who you are. So you and or your partner could be going through one of these life changes. And when you do that, there is this question of what's next? And will we be able to get through this? The good news here is there is a hidden Two of Cups here, even if you're in a bumpy state. And this is usually a celebratory card. So I think we're okay when I'm looking at this, but there's a question of, are you both giving 100%? This is, or a card of 50-50. You need to both be putting in an equal amount. If not, it's time to change that up. Is one of you focusing solely on critical or negative energy? If so, that's going to trap the other partner, just like we talked about the webs, and not let them go where they need to go. So we need to get both of you positively charged so that you're attracting positive energy into your life. Let's see what else here. Someone could be trying to get away with something. This is a card that's sneaky, Seven of Swords energy. You couple that with the High Priestess in reverse, it's not going to work. You're going to see it. They're going to know that you see it, and you're going to have to talk about it eventually. Honesty is the key thing, I would say right now. Just anything that you need to talk about. If you can't talk about it with your partner, who can you talk about it with? So this is the time to come clean, be clear, share your hopes and fears, get it all out on the table. And then I feel like it's going to be an okay space for you in the long run. But there is something that is just underneath the surface. So this month, spend some time together, talk about those deep sort of dreams and desires and fears, and get this raccoon energy out because we don't need that in the relationship space. Okay. By the way, there could be a long distance relationship challenge at hand, and this may need to, maybe this isn't enough. So dating someone in a different state, country, or province, you're like, I miss you, you're too many time zones away, and there needs to be a decision that's made there. Okay. Focusing now on those that are single and happy. Let the dust settle. Whenever the tower comes through, we don't want to go into rebound. So again, if you just got out of a breakup, a divorce, if you're recently widowed, etc., this is saying give yourself the time that you need to let the dust settle. Don't jump straight into the first opportunity. Maybe you need to travel a little bit. You might need some distance or space, some time off. This is the important piece. By the way, even in existing partnerships, that space is important, and maybe getting out of the current environment and traveling together could help as well, because there is something sort of distracting about that. If you are looking for love, then the star card shows me that you're projecting a very positive energy right now. There's change going on, but you know who you are. You're trying to look at the positive here. You're willing to go the distance. And then that puts you in the energy of manifesting. The only thing that I see here is these are really strong. Each one of these could be a potential partner. The King of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Emperor. They're all very strong, and they're all reversed. So if we were to kind of like look at this and think, how can we adjust this so that it's a little bit more manageable? Working on empathy would be step one. Trusting intuition and not trying to get away with something, basically. Just say what you want and focus on being transparent and communicative. That's key. And hold your ground. And don't allow other people to step in and sort of gaslight you and make you think that you can't do something. So empathy, transparency, trusting the intuition, and really standing your ground and leading by example. If you do all of this, then you're going to pull the upright versions of these, which would be communicative, sensitive, and very much sort of self-sufficient. So put them together, and we actually have the perfect kind of partner there. And it's a nice blend of divine masculine and feminine. So I think right now you're a bit fragmented energetically, and you could be pulling multiple people, teaching multiple lessons. So work on compiling and composing that and aggregating that, and then you get one person that has all of these traits, and it's a lot easier. So sometimes if we just really work on doing the work, then we don't have to go through so many partnerships. You bring in a partner, not a teacher. But if we, again, combine this communicative, sensitive, and empathic, and self-sufficient. We like all of those. So those are the energies you want to put into yourself, and then you'll be able to attract those as well. Okay? But there could be an air sign that presents first. There could be an age differentiation. This person's probably awake, but they may have some challenges in admitting to how awake they are. So sometimes people just don't want to use the word intuitive or psychic, but I'm getting all of those energies with what the kind of partner that's coming through. Okay. If you're single and happy, good, because there's a lot of opportunity for your star to be on the rise. So if you're single and happy, this is a good time to travel for work, travel for pleasure, just travel in general. It's a good time. This is a really great time to work on your own sort of like personal development, because all of these are developmental, developing your voice and vision, both of these, voice, vision, and then doing something with that. So I think professionally and personally, you could see this sort of zenith moment where there's a lot happening. You want to be mindful of who you can trust. You want to focus on comfort with ambiguity. And if you do that, you're going to have a great period ahead. There still may be partnerships, but they're not playing as pivotal a role for those that are single and happy. It's more developmental this month. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead now and look at your destiny card. We have the Forest Temple Enlightenment. I like this. All right. So this card is reversed, but let's look at it really closely first. So this is like, if I had to pick something in tarot that would connect to the person here, whenever we're looking at the forest, it's got to be pentacles, because we're looking at the trees, the earth, the ground. So this is a pentacle-rich card. It could be something like the 10 of Pentacles, because that would show house, home, family, all the sort of earthly stuff that we're looking for. So this card in reverse, I actually just read a single card reading for the 10 of Pentacles in reverse recently. There is a uprooting energy, which is so interesting because I'm working with so many nature decks today that this is we're very nature focused here with the Tower card. So some of you need to transplant yourself. Some of you have been uprooted. Some of you are trying to find your footing. So I think that's the most important first thing that you could really put your energy into is, where do I stand? How do I stand stronger? How do I really ground myself in my intention and in my purpose? And if I can do that, then growth and abundance will come my way. Then you can be the King or the Queen of Pentacles. But right now we see 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which is being a little bit out of what's expected. It's like you took the template and you turned it inside out, and people are trying to figure out how you fit in, and you don't, and that's not necessarily bad. But you have to decide how to articulate what it is that you want and how you can still find a way to be a part of this bigger scene that I'm looking at. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at your big idea. Big idea card is going to help you focus on one thing that can empower you. Okay, so let's pull a card and see what the message is. Ooh, I like the illustration on this one. It's upright, and we have the 9 of Pentacles on this one, and it's protected in these feathers. It's almost like a nest that you're building, right? So 9 of Pentacles, traditionally you would see a person basically reaping the rewards, harvesting the fruit in the garden. It's usually a lavishly dressed woman. She has like a really fancy bird on her shoulder. There's a little snail in front of her. And there's this feeling that she took her time. She accomplished what she was looking for. And now she has this sustainability. You know, I just did a reading on the weekend where the special topic was all of this or more, which is a really valuable thing to focus on when it's time to manifest. So to get into that energy of all this and more, I want you to know that the universe is giving you a vote of confidence here. So the 9 of Pentacles is saying, we value you and we see that you can do this. We being your spirit team up there. So your spirit team came through with this very beautiful guided card that's saying, you can do this on your own. It may take longer than you think, but it's worth the wait. And that's the succinct download for that. Let's look at your blessings and blocks for the week ahead. These are going to comprise energies that will help you accomplish what we saw there. They could also cause delays. So we're going to look at the two together and get some insight. The blessing, and there we go. And the block. All right, so Very synchronistic here. Like I said, raccoon reverse was the Seven of Swords reversed. Your blessing this month is none less than the Seven of Swords reversed. In this deck, we have the fox. Many decks will do the fox. True Heart Intuitive has it. It may or may not be on the Wildwood, but it's on this one. The fox is invariably on this particular one. But the fox and the raccoon have similar energies. Like I said, they sneak around. This one's really smart. Obviously, the raccoon is intelligent if it can open up the trash can and get into the trash. It's smart too. So here's the good news. You're going to see a plan before it has a chance to stick. So if someone's trying to get away with something, you're sleeping with one eye open like the fox, and you're saying, I see you. I see you, and you're not going to get away with that. So all you have to do then is to bring them to accountability. Now, not every fox is even, or equal, I should say. There are some where they're really difficult. So holding the person to their accountability, they can make up excuses and from here to the moon, right? So what you're going to do is get the data and put the data incontrovertibly in front of them and say, no, here are the dates that we talked about this is what and this is what happened here, and stick to the data. That's going to help you basically shift their focus and let them know that you are serious, that you're not going to just be a pushover. So this is also why it's important to be able to stand your ground. And that's basically one of the lessons this month. This was the past. This is the future. The card was reversed, so it's about uprooting yourself, replanting yourself, and saying, no, this is what I want, or this is where I stand, or don't do that anymore. I see you, okay? So you're going to call out somebody, help them be more accountable, and it's going to take maybe an attempt or two. It's going to make you stronger. You're going to be glad you did it. You're going to feel better the minute you have the conversation, and it's going to be a good thing. This is also the inner saboteur. So if you don't have an external situation going on, fancy word, saboteur, for someone who gets in the way of positivity or progress. So we all have that inner voice that will say, probably shouldn't do this, but let's do it anyway. Or I know that this is too much, but I'll just say yes. So listen to the better part of the advice, which is I shouldn't do this, or this is too much, or I need to do this. Don't let but let's just have some fun. That's like the angel and the devil. We don't want the devil energy to kind of win. Let's focus on acknowledging our shadow energy and not giving into temptation. That's really what this is. Don't commit if you can't do it or you're not ready to do it. And that will also help hold back this energy. The good news is if you're about to get into something that you shouldn't, and you're also going to see if someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. You're very much awake with this. So I feel good about it. Just take action on that and positivity will follow. Your block this month is emotional sensitivity, something I talked about a little bit earlier. Or if I didn't, I mean to now. We're going to look at it. So with the Queen of Cups in reverse, it's saying I've been spending so much time helping others, thinking about others, empathizing with others that I'm exhausted. Or I have so much creativity, so much thought, so much going on that I don't know how to focus. And so breathing, slowing down, getting that plan of attack together for the day, the conversation, the negotiation, or whatever, that's going to be important. Put time on your schedule where nothing's going on. And by nothing, I mean you have a chance to just sit still for a second or two, ideally for like an hour. If you can meditate, if you can nap, if you can do yoga, all of these things are good. It's not going to look nice on your calendar because you're not going to necessarily see that if I do this, I get this. But just like sleep, it is invaluable because it gives you peace of mind. It gives you the clarity. You might need to talk to someone too, a friend or a counselor. They might be able to help you kind of channel that energy and ground it. That's what's missing from this is some grounding, okay? But it is highly sensitive, highly intuitive, highly creative. And yes, it means that love could come into your life right now, but it's unexpected. And it could also constitute that tower moment. So that's why you want to make sure that you're okay and that you're ready for all that's coming through because it's a lot otherwise. All right. So that is it for that. We're going to take a look now at the viewers and the readers' choices. So let me take a quick drink here and then we're going to look at the table and vote on some options. So let's take a look first at some options for you to vote on. And I think the tower is something we need to look at. But I've done a lot with the tower lately, so I'll put it there as an option for you. And if you want me to look at it, I'll look at it. So we'll say how to maximize change, because I think that's good. That's a good sort of approach towards change. Reclamation of power is also coming in. Reclaiming power, I'll put just to make it easier. How to reclaim power. And I'm going to look at change. I want to look at the, maximize. It's fine. We've got change here, so that's fine. If you choose to do it, you choose to do it. Let's look at outside influences since we got the Six of Cups, or the Six of Swords. Outside influences and opportunities. What's going on with that? Okay, I think that's enough for you to vote on. So I'll give you those options. And as a reader, let's see, I want to help you through ambiguity. So this beautiful chrysalis at the center is saying, better days are ahead, but I feel trapped right now. So what do you do about that feeling of being trapped? What's it about? What's the message on that? Are you trapped? How do you free yourself? You're fine. We've got the Two of Wands here. So for reader's choice, again, I'm looking at that feeling of frustration that often comes when we can't see the solution. And this is saying you're overthinking. So the Two of Wands here is saying, first of all, you could think of way outside of the box. You could also be overthinking, and you don't want to project your fear or your anxiety into that future engagement, conversation, negotiation, or opportunity. So focus instead on sitting down today and thinking to yourself, I am a powerful co-creator in my own universe. I create with the divine, with my spiritual team, with my higher self. I am ready and capable of creating an exit strategy or an entrance strategy, depending on what you're trying to do. And I am going to follow the cosmic script that's going to lead to the best outcome. I'm opening myself up. I can think in the moment. I can create in the moment. I am not trapped. And just because I can't see what tomorrow brings doesn't mean tomorrow won't be better than today. That's my little prayer that I made up on the moment. That would help anybody, honestly, but especially those of you that are blocked. So that's what you have to sit and do, is meditate with that empowerment and sit there until you feel your energy buzzing and feeling higher and brighter, and see yourself as a rising star, right? The rising star that you are. And that's the answer to that question. All right, let's take a look and see what you chose for me. All right, we're gonna, very close. Let's see where it goes here. Nope, 45% as it finished. So outside influences and opportunities. I also think that this is a great one. So we'll take a look at outside opportunities and see how you can, we're really looking at the Six of Swords. Who's coming into your life? Sorry, I'll turn the camera down for a second. Who's coming into your life? What opportunities are availing themselves externally? This is really good for those of you that might be jobs searching, etc. So let's take a look and see. By far my favorite Hierophant card in any given deck. So we have the Hierophant upright coming through for you, and the opportunity for you is someone's helping empower you. There could be a mentor that comes into your life, but the big thing with them is they're not going to stay for a long time. So I see someone coming in that helps you open a door or helps you see that you have the key. It's a sort of, and we see the lightning here, a very short-lived but a very impactful engagement with someone. So this could be a chance encounter with someone who's plugged into business and opportunities. This could be a chance encounter with a mentor that you've always wanted to talk to. This could just be a friend that is only in your life for, a period of time, a year or so, or something like that. But they come in and they help you awaken. There's an awakening here. So the Hierophant is definitely plugged in, because that card contains the High Priestess lessons, the Magician, the Emperor, and the Empress. So it's all of those cards plus the Fool smashed together, because it's that part of the journey. And that means that you have everything that it takes. This is where the Hierophant needs to be, like in the 21st century, because there is no Pope with those two little keys. There are no disciples. We are all connecting to source energy, and we are all finding our own power. It's a very sort of ancient way of looking at connecting to divinity. So the big message here is I see a mover and a shaker coming into your life that helps you see your power. You may also just be seeing that you are that mover and shaker. So this is a time to be bold, open doors, and don't feel bad if it is counter to what is expected. That's probably what's going to make you impactful. When we think of really cool CEOs or people at the top of their game in any industry, they make the rules, they call the shots. They're not following the trends, they're making the trends. Same thing with art and music. Sometimes it's a hit or miss sort of situation, but usually it's a hit, and it's usually because they keep doing what feels right to them, and they're not regurgitating the past. New sounds, new visions, and that's the message here. So either be that person for someone else, or know that there's a possibility for a mentor to come in, but it's a short-lived engagement. Nonetheless, it's going to be very impactful and very positive for you. Okay? All right, we're getting ready now to go into sun, rising, and moon. A quick reminder before we do that, please hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want reminders, you can follow me on social media. All right, let's take a look at the sun, rising, and moon messages. This is a chance for you to basically fine-tune this whole reading a little bit. If you're moon sign or sun sign or whatever, I'm going to help you get that last pair of glasses on to focus it just a little bit, or if you're watching for someone that you love. All right, let's pull the cards first, and then we'll dig a little deeper. Thanks to everybody, by the way, that's giving with super stickers or super chat. I will acknowledge you at the end of this reading. Sun, rising, moon. Okay, really great empowered cards coming through. So you're gonna have a great month, Leo, I can tell you that. All right, so focusing on the sun sign first. We have Daughter of Pentacles, otherwise known as a page. Page of Pentacles is great. This is opening you up because I wanted to see just a little bit more than the Six of Pentacles, and the page delivers. The interesting thing with this page is it could work a little bit on the confidence, because we see a young deer here, basically, a fawn or something, and basically with that sort of gentle energy, sometimes like rapid change or rapid movement could scare you off a little bit. So as we're looking here at the table, this sort of energy of change, this energy of visibility, this lack of clarity on what's coming through could scare away this little deer. So I want you to try not to do fight or flight mode. Try not to run from one situation to another. Plant yourself for a moment and see, is this opportunity? Is this a friend or is this foe? How should I react before I go into instinct? Before I kind of go into that sort of sometimes wanting to run away from a challenge or an opportunity. Because I see growth for you this month. That's ultimately what this is. Listen, watch, connect to what's going on around you. Pages are at their most powerful when they're both listening and also speaking. Like, you don't want to just do one or the other. So I definitely get the listening vibe, especially with the ears on that. So you may find something amazing that kind of like comes across your plate this month, and I think go for it. If you're also trying to shop an idea or a project out there into the universe, others are interested in what you have to say. A little bit more boldness would be great, though. I'd really love this to be a knight or a queen, but we'll take the page. It's good. Okay? Be bold. Embrace your self-worth, and don't act impulsively. I think those are the things that I would get from that based on the illustration. That's why I like animals on the court cards. So much easier to read than just a person, right? Okay, let's focus now on the rising message. We have another page card here, the Daughter of Wands. So with this, by the way, rising is an ascendant, it's going to basically affect how people are viewing you, specifically or especially in our work or community settings. So people see you as a force to be reckoned with. They see you as someone who is flexible, capable, powerful, because those are all the things that a snake is, basically. And sometimes you take them by surprise. And I think that actually is where your big power comes this month, is surprising people with your insight, surprising them with your flexibility. So for the rising sign, it looks like many of you are more comfortable with not knowing everything because you feel the wings behind you. You know it's almost time and you can't wait to get to that next juncture in the road. So be bold, share your ideas with others, lean into that flexibility, and you're setting up a really nice cycle for yourself. We have the infinity sign here. So I think that the next 3 to 6 months are looking really great with whatever kind of energy you're putting out there. This is a bold card for you. It's nice. Okay? All right, let's move on now to the moon sign. We have the Empress card here. Divine Feminine, which is great in a Divine Feminine sort of part of this as well, because the moon is feminine. So this is saying of all of the cards that I've pulled, actually, this is the strongest. This is saying you're finally getting into your power, that you are understanding who you are, what you want, where you want to be, and maybe you're finally feeling confident enough to say that to others. So that's a good thing. This is also a card of birthing, creating, and nurturing. So anything that you decide to put your energy into this month, you're going to see a definite return on that with the Empress card coming through here. So I think that I would encourage you to pick something and champion it this month and really focus and see if you don't notice positive traction, positive movement, and then also this feeling of, I did this. Like that's a good thing. All right. So empowerment, loud and clear in the moon. It may also surprise people because this is a side of our personalities that we don't always share. We usually keep the moon to ourselves, but you have a power and you have a creativity and you have this ability that is second to none. So let people see that, share that hidden gift or that hidden talent. That's where more success can come through for you. Okay? Let's do a quick check-in and see where we're at. We've moved through all the major components of the reading. Right now we're going to the final portion, which has 3 parts. We'll do a meditation in just a few moments, followed by a sound bath. Then I'll pull a final card. The final card for many people is their favorite piece because if you have a very specific question, you can show up to any of my readings and kind of focus on that. And I do a group sort of reading of everyone present and the energy associated with that. So write down your question. Don't put it in chat just yet. Let's get ready to meditate. And for this meditation today, let's see what's calling. Well, I think it's the star because it's center. So let's focus. We're gonna work with a star in our meditation and allow you to become that star as well. All right. So imagine that you are in the middle of the forest in the evening. There is an opening so that you can see the sky above you and the moon above you. And all around you are beautiful fireflies that are lighting up. And they are very much themselves like shooting stars. They're kind of rising up from the ground. I used to live on the East Coast as a kid. And I didn't always live there. I remember moving there. And I saw the beauty of the fireflies as we got into the 2 or 3 states from the coast. And I thought, oh my God, these are amazing. And if you've never seen them before, they are amazing. So see these beautiful they have kind of like a greenish tint. So these little green stars twinkling among the trees is basically what they look like. And they keep kind of flying up and then they turn off for a second. So you're watching almost like shooting stars in reverse. And this is helping you kind of create a flow of energy in your body. Imagine that you are sitting, legs crossed, hands touching the earth, eyes towards the heavens. And as you're doing this, you can feel the energy from the center of the earth, this beautiful reddish orange energy starting to channel up through you. And you can now see this beautiful green energy of the fireflies moving around you, moving around your heart. And as you start to beam upwards towards the sky, you see this point in the sky above you. First, you think it might be an external star, but now you realize it is you. It is your higher self. It's your cosmic connection. So I want you to just allow your body to stay put, but through the beam of light that's now going through the top of your crown chakra, imagine that you can travel. Your consciousness can go up into your higher self. You're grounded, but you're also connected. Take your time traveling up through that beam of light. Look at the earth if you're not afraid of heights. Otherwise, just see yourself instantaneously transported into your higher self. And now see the world from the star point of view. See the arms of the Milky Way, see the distant galaxies, see how the universe is constantly expanding. And in that expansion, I want you to be a part of that. Your thoughts, your capabilities, your perspective is shifting, is moving, and it is expanding. Simply breathe and continue to allow for the expansion to set into your sort of energetic state. And I'm going to play the singing bowl while you do that. Allow yourself now to reconnect with your body on the planet. Keeping that vision, that expansiveness that you saw from this highest point of vista, this view. Seeing yourself travel back from the beam of light into your crown chakra. Gently opening your eyes, seeing yourself not in the forest, but in your place of work, place of living, wherever you're at, coming back into the present. Take a few deep breaths, at least 2. And on the next natural exhale, gently open your eyes. Breathe and stretch for a moment, keeping that expansive energy in your body. Now with eyes open, feet planted firmly on the planet, I want you to open your eyes again if you haven't already. Focus on your final question. All right, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups is a positive card. It usually indicates a celebration, a party, something positive in your life. The reversal of this can sometimes be the energy of feeling like you're an outsider, maybe that you don't know if you fit. There could also be some fear of kind of like connecting into some sort of a clique that is very exclusive. So let's focus on those of you that asked a yes/no question. So with the Three of Cups in reverse, I would say you need more clarity with this. I like the way you're feeling. I like the sort of general energy of this opportunity that is making you ask the question. But what I see here is the Three of Cups in reverse can be too hastily made. We talked about impulsive sort of decisions. Three of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Cups, which we also got, can be very impulsive energies. So I would slow down. I would say yes, but you need to sleep on it. You need some more time, and you need to give it also make sure that the other person or the other opportunity is meeting you on an even level. One thing that I would say when it comes to your relationships and the people around you is that what goes around comes around. And this card can carry with it gossip or that feeling of being excluded. So what you want to do is avoid these things. Be very inclusive. Try to avoid gossip or stop it completely if it's crossing your tracks. And that's going to help set a really good example for it's good for karma, it's good for energy, it's good for future engagements. Other things that are coming through, if you're asking, is this the one? It feels like it's too soon with the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a card where you're supposed to date and get to know somebody. And so in general, with anything, don't rush through this period of time. There's like a honeymoon phase and a dating phase. It feels like you're in that. This is a question of exclusivity. This is a question of commitment. So if you've been in something for a while, a job or a relationship, you could also be thinking, is this where I want to be? That's only a question you can ask and answer. But I would say with this, there's still a lot to love, but you need to take your time. Don't do anything hasty here, okay? That's the most important thing. If there is a party, if there is some sort of an opportunity to network, say yes. You could meet someone unexpected and really engaging at that particular event that could open the door. And remember, we had the Hierophant energy coming through a little earlier about external forces so that you could actually meet your Hierophant at one of those types of events, okay? That, my friends, is today's reading in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to take a couple moments here just to express gratitude. And I want to begin by saying welcome to the new folks. If you enjoyed today's reading, please, like I said earlier, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. And for all the folks that have watched me for a while, engage with the video as well. Add a comment and then share it, because all of those things help the YouTube algorithm, and it does matter. Otherwise, we creators wouldn't say that. Also, if you enjoy these long form videos, let me know that in the comments below as well. And just helps, like I said, with all of this. All right, let's focus now on the folks that joined today. I think we had maybe a new member and a couple of stickers, so I want to make sure that I give some gratitude to all of that, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so for today, let's see, welcoming new members first. These are the ones that have joined in the past day or so. We have Hazel, Fire, and Alexa D. I think everyone else I remember from yesterday, from anything from one day ago. So those are the three from today. So welcome. Hazel has been a member for 11 months and just rejoined. Fire for 13 months, just rejoined. and Alexa is brand new. So thank you for all of you for coming through. I have to watch my devices when I say that name sometimes because it'll pop on. All right, let's go ahead now and look at super stickers and super chat. And I want to say thanks to the two people that gave back today, Jeannie Hart and Sherry Wolf. Thanks for your gratitude and for your contributions. I appreciate it. All right, that, my friends, is everything. I will be placing future videos that will be coming through later this week, so keep an eye on that. I usually always post 3 ahead. I'll try to get that list of upcoming videos for the rest of this month as well. It's been a little crazy because I've had to keep moving my office around due to issues here. So thanks for your flexibility with that. All right, in the meantime, lots of love and light to you. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for a magical reading today. I really enjoyed it. The energy that was present definitely was high frequency. So wishing you all the best and let that star rise, okay? Have a great one, make it a great one, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.